He had money, more than he could ever spend in his lifetime, yet for years he had felt something missing. Daniel Miller, a successful millionaire in Toronto, was known for his sharp business mind, but those close to him also knew he had a soft heart that he rarely showed. His mansion was always filled with people, gardeners, cleaners, chefs, but at the end of every day, Daniel still ate dinner alone. Among the staff was Maria, a middle-aged maid who had worked for him quietly for over 5 years. She was polite, reserved, and never asked for anything, but Daniel often noticed the way her hands shook when she carried heavy trays or how her eyes seemed tired even when she forced a smile. One afternoon, Daniel was reviewing some papers in his study when Maria came in to dust. He asked her casually about her family, something he rarely did. Her face lit up when she mentioned her 2 children, especially her youngest daughter, Lily. But Daniel caught the sudden shadow in her eyes when she admitted she was struggling to keep up with school fees and groceries. He thought about it for hours after she left the room. He had everything, and here was someone working tirelessly under his own roof, barely holding life together. The next day, Daniel did something he had never done before. He handed Maria his platinum credit card. Her eyes widened in disbelief, and she shook her head. "No, sir, I can't," she whispered. But Daniel pressed it into her hand gently. "Take it, buy something for yourself. No rules, no limits. Just promise me you'll use it today." Tears welled in her eyes, but she nodded slowly, still hesitant. That evening, Maria returned the card to Daniel, thanking him quietly. Out of curiosity, Daniel checked the account. He had expected to see charges from a clothing store or maybe something small for her home. But instead, the transactions broke his heart, yet in a way that opened his eyes. She hadn't bought jewelry, clothes, or anything for herself. The receipts showed payments to a children's hospital, a pharmacy, and a grocery store. With his card, Maria had purchased her daughter's asthma medication, cleared part of her overdue school fees, and donated the rest to a children's ward. Daniel sat at his desk, staring at the receipts. A deep ache filled his chest, not from anger or disappointment, but from realization. Here he was, a man drowning in wealth, who spent thousands on suits he wore once, while his maid had used the only chance of luxury to make sure her children and other sick children could breathe, learn, and eat. She hadn't thought of herself for a second. That selflessness shook him to his core. The next morning, Daniel asked Maria to sit with him. She looked nervous, thinking she had done something wrong. Instead, he told her what her choices had meant to him. "You've reminded me of what I lost chasing all this," he said, gesturing around his mansion. "Purpose, humanity, love." Maria's eyes filled with tears, and for the first time, she spoke openly about the weight she carried as a mother, widow, and provider. Daniel made a decision that day. He not only paid off all her debts and set up a trust for her children's education, but he also began investing heavily in the children's hospital she had donated to. He didn't just write a check, he visited, volunteered, and gave his time. For once, his wealth wasn't about power, it was about people. Maria's quiet act of sacrifice had done what years of business victories never could. It softened a heart hardened by success and reminded him of the true wealth hidden in kindness and selflessness. By the end, Daniel knew this wasn't about what Maria had bought. It was about what she had taught him, that the smallest sacrifices often carry the biggest lessons. And so, a millionaire and his maid, 2 people from completely different worlds, ended up inspiring each other. She showed him humanity, and he gave her family hope. The story of a credit card turned into something much deeper, a reminder that what we do for others speaks louder than anything money could ever buy. Would you like me to make this story a little longer, so it perfectly matches a 4-minute YouTube narration pace with more emotional build-up and tension?